This is a review of Yandex Keyboard on iPhone. I found this to be the best virtual keyboard for swipe input currently on the App Store. As a software developer is Russia's largest tech firm, there could be privacy and cybersecurity aspects to consider when configuring the app settings. I'll be discussing this in detail later in the video, as well as provide links to official Apple and Yandex documentation, so you can do your own research before making a decision on whether this app is right for you. For swipe input, this is the only keyboard I can confidently call almost, if not as good as the original Swype Keyboard. SwiftKey, Gboard, Grammarly, as well as the stock keyboard do certain things very well. Unfortunately, swipe input is not one of them. Enter Yandex Keyboard. As you can see, it's great at guessing my swipes correctly, even with the 15 Pro being a tad too large to swipe comfortably. Going over the features, looking at language here, it does not force multilingual typing, hence not destroying your autocorrect, which is great. It keeps them completely separate. You notice a key to freely switch between them on the bottom left. I'm looking at Use SwiftKey. In the top bar, you'll notice more than the typical 3 to 4 results you would get in a standard keyboard application. This one is also scrollable. That can be disabled if you like the standard one more. In the top right, you also see the emoticons shortcut. The left-hand grouping is your the ones you use most often. This changes dynamically based on usage patterns. Obviously, the list is scrollable. There's also tabs. You have these. Forget what they're called, but some people really like these. As I don't have allow full access enabled for the keyboard, some features like this draw module will not work. So just FYI, obviously you can look up emoticons as well. The spacebar does exactly what you would expect. If you long press it and scroll left and right, it does the thing. I think the stock keyboard allows you to go up too, like a mouse. This one you need to scroll all the way to the left if you want to go to the previous row. You'll notice above each key is a symbol for quick access. The one for A is really cool because it has the underscore as well, which I use very often. These can be disabled in the settings. And it's not just visual, meaning the symbol above the key actually goes away, thus leaving just your sort of standard accents. The period, when long pressing, gives you a common sort of common punctuation things. My favorite of which being the ... Whichever developer thought that was a good idea, I love you. Thank you. I'm going to use this all the time. Same with the comma. You have your colon, semicolon. That's again on the long press. Long pressing the globe allows you to quickly access your settings, minimize the keyboard, as well as force close the keyboard, which is great if you're troubleshooting something. And it goes to the next one, inline. In this case, it went up to the standard keyboard. That about covers the feature set. Let's have a look at the settings. It has themes, right? If we look under appearance, you have themes. Fortunately, these do not work without allow full access enabled. So I won't be able to show you that. I am pleased to report, however, that the stock theme does respect the system color, which is perfect. As well, you can control the keyboard height. I assume that does not work without allow full access as well. That comes in handy when enabling and yes, ladies and gentlemen, this has a numbers row. You'll notice, however, it squishes everything underneath it, thus making the symbols kind of squish into the letters there. And that's where the height control comes in. Again, does not work without full access, the height control. We looked at appearance, sound, and vibration. Now you have your sounds, your haptics as normal. However, this also has the haptic strength, which is pretty neat. I've yet to see this on other keyboards, unless I'm jailbroken. Right, we already looked at numbers row. You can keep it all capitals if you want. Additional characters is the actual symbols, right? So those are gone. You'll see they're gone from the long press menu as well for the key. Simple key animation, I don't recommend it. It kind of looks cool, but if you hover over the comma or period, your finger kind of covers it. It should maybe be placed a little higher, but alas, it is not. I would use it otherwise. Voice input will not work without allow full access. Continuous input is the actual swipe input. You have to have it on to enter text. Cursor control for the spacebar. Not sure why anybody would disable that. Top bar. You can also do emoji suggestions in the top bar if you wish. I guess we'll cover the Yandex button. So going back, similar to how SwiftKey has its sort of Copilot button, Grammarly has its G button, the same with Gboard. This has a Yandex button. None of these features work without full access, hence why I keep it disabled. I'm glad they offer an option to do so. You have a clipboard here, which crashes the keyboard if you try to use it without allow full access. So I'll leave that. You have a built-in translate module, which is kind of cool. Kind of wish I could use that. And a search function as well. You can block offensive words. This is a feature you probably want to have disabled, which is to allow Yandex to collect anonymous input statistics. User dictionaries essentially allows Yandex to pull words from your general keyboard, the text replacement. If you've added any words in there, it will be able to access those. And that about covers the settings. You have some popular setting toggles here. Now, is Yandex safe to use? I've done my own due diligence. I'm comfortable with what I've found. To you, however, I'm just a guy on the internet. Don't just trust the guy on the internet, okay? I will provide you some documentation to do your own due diligence, but for now, let's go ahead and ask Microsoft Copilot. This is the licensed enterprise version. It will provide a list of sources after it gives us the answer, which I'll go ahead and paste in the description. Again, you should do your own due diligence in deciding whether this app is appropriate for you or not. I wish to use Yandex Keyboard on my iPhone. Based on my research, as long as allow full access, as well as anonymous data collection are both disabled, it appears to be safe to use. Using official Apple and Yandex documentation, please confirm if my assessment is correct for that configuration. Keep it brief. Here it comes.
Based on the information from Yandex and Apple, your assessment is correct. When you disable Allow Full Access and Anonymous Data Collection, Yandex Keyboard does not collect input data by default. Apple's documentation indicates that allowing full access could potentially give the developer additional access to some of your information and the Internet. Therefore, keeping these settings disabled would be a safer configuration if you have privacy concerns.
See, I don't like how it used Stack Exchange instead of official Apple documentation. Fret not, I have the official Apple documentation. I'll be attaching these ones instead. Long story short, what this will tell you is that when you disallow full access, i.e. full access is not enabled, the keyboard application has zero network connectivity. It is incapable via API restriction to send anything out or receive anything. So the only thing it has access to is your screen and your finger, essentially. You can also find this right here, if I'm not mistaken, about third-party keyboards and privacy. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right here. So in the, I guess, third paragraph, if you do not enable full access, developers are not permitted to collect and transmit the data you type. Any unauthorized collection or transmission of this data without your permission would be a violation of their developer agreement. Here it comes. Furthermore, there are also technical limitations in effect to prevent unauthorized access. Any attempt to defeat these limitations would also be a violation of their developer agreement. Based on that, if you wish to go for max privacy, you need to go to Y Keyboard. Actually, let me go from the beginning. So in your settings, General, Keyboard, Keyboards, Y Keyboard, please ensure Allow Full Access is disabled, as is shown on screen. As well in the Yandex Keyboard, under Personalization, ensure the second setting, which is Make Y.Keyboard Better, is also disabled. I'll go ahead and paste those links in the description. Again, do your own due diligence. I think this is a fantastic, for me, the best keyboard application currently on the App Store for swipe typing. Enjoy, and if you do end up trying it, go ahead and give me a shout. Let me know how you like it. Cheers.